This is a warning for business owners. The Great Resignation is here and you need to know about it. In this video, I'm going to cover all of my research on how you can prepare as a business owner to make sure that your team and your company are not crippled by this big shift in how team members are changing and how businesses is shifting in the post-pandemic era. Over the last 12 months, we've seen an absolute tidal wave of resignations around the world. And an organizational psychologist, his name is Anthony Klotz, basically said that this is called the Great Resignation, which is effectively the effect of people sitting at home for a couple of years in the coronavirus pandemic and sitting there reevaluating what they're doing with their life. Are they happy with their job? Are they happy with the way that they're working? Are they happy with what benefits and what they're provided with how they work? And really thinking about, are they happy with even the location that they live and work in? And so this big shift, the Great Resignation, is really shifting how businesses approach and have access to talent, because talent are literally just quitting. The businesses that they do not feel aligned with, they are just quitting. And much of the workforce is now made up of millennials, and and I'm one of them. Millennials will do what they think is right for themselves, over sticking to the business or over the old school thinking of longevity or long tenure in a business. And so that's kind of a culmination of all those different effects making this happen. Resignations are happening, pretty highly in a lot of people who are in like their kind of mid-career. Someone who's in their mid-career might be someone between 30 and 45 years old. As I said, millennials. These have had the greatest increase in resignation rates. The actual numbers are quite stunning. It's been up to 20% in the United States between 2020 and 2021. And that's a pretty darn monumental shift to see 20% of a complete employment base actually shifting out. The highest industries are the tech industry and the healthcare industries. Healthcare industry makes sense. Tech, not exactly sure about why that is, but resignation rates were actually higher amongst employees that worked in places where they had a lot of demand due to the pandemic. And so that explains, a little bit of the tech side of things, but very obvious in the healthcare industry. What's the good news and the bad news? Like, how do we respond to this as a business owner? What can you do in your business to think about retaining the talent that exists in your company, and how might you, adapt to and respond to what's happening here? Well, ideally, we want to improve retention as much as possible in our businesses. Ideally, if you have the right people on the bus and you've hired great people, you want to retain them as much as possible. Replacing an employee not only has the time, effort in actually, hiring someone, but you also have to onboard them, and you have a big loss in productivity for months as a new person is actually onboarded into a role. And so it can be quite challenging and quite impactful for a business if you have key talent actually disappear from the business. And so as much as possible, you want to retain people. Let's try and take a data-driven approach to how we might retain our team members as much as possible. And we're a tech business and we're nerds, so we like to do things data-based as much as possible. Number one, we want to identify the problem. Okay, so what's the scope of the problem? What's the impact, right? So first, we want to calculate what your actual retention rate is in a business. And it might be a good idea for you to try and find out what your industry retention rate is as well, so you can attempt to, if possible, try and benchmark your retention rate against others in your industry. Now, the retention rate for business can be worked out by taking the number of people who have left your business for the year, divide that by the average total number of employees. So roughly the total number of employees that you have, and that's going to give you your turnover rate. And effectively, that's the percentage of team members that will turn over in any given year. Now, you can do this on like a rolling 12 months. You don't have to start it and finish it on the calendar year, right? And that turnover rate is going to let you know where your business is at. Now, I wouldn't necessarily, get too worried about what that exact number is. I think what would be more important is to compare where it is right now over the last 12 months to previous sets of 12 months. So what was the previous corresponding period, the 12 months before you just did the calculation, and compare how they are. It might be interesting to see for you whether or not there has even been a change or not. There may not have been a change, but also it's pretty important to check with your industry benchmarks as well. Typically, a company that is able to attract good talent and retain good talent will perform much better as a business and will generate more net profit as well. And so ideally, we want to be in the game of attracting, retaining, and helping our great talent flourish so that we can get return from excellent teams in our businesses. Once you've gotten a bit of an idea of what the actual number is of your retention and also what direction it's going in, maybe have a look at what some of the root causes are of why people may be leaving your business or moving on. Now, you can do the basics like an exit interview each time somebody moves on, to work out why they've individually chosen to leave the business. But what we also like to do is called a pulse survey. And we do a pulse survey every quarter. And that pulse survey is a questionnaire that goes out to our team, and we ask them lots of questions. We ask them, do they feel appreciated at work? Do they feel they have all the resources that they need? Do they feel that they're well supported by their manager? Do they feel that the business is a great place to work? Do they feel that our mission is aligned and good for the world? And all of these things give us data and allow us to kind of see how our team members are feeling while they're inside the business as well. Basically, not just waiting until someone has actually exited the business. Now, if you're interested in a copy of our Pulse report, we actually have an example that we provide to our customers, and you can get access to that for free by clicking on to the transfer in offer below. We have a video explaining it, and we also have a template that you can use as well. So you're welcome if you're interested in taking that up. Now, number 3 that you can do, this is where the rubber really hits the road, and that is actually starting to develop tailored retention programs. And that is actually creating customized programs, both for existing employees overall broadly, and for someone who you think might be, a little bit on the edge, that might not be quite satisfied with the role that they're in, to as much as possible retain your top talent. Now, for us, sometimes that looks like a burnout program. Sometimes that looks like a engagement program. Sometimes that looks like running exciting and fun events to work on the team social bonding. But for us, we're always looking for ways to keep our team members in great exchange with the business. And by great exchange, I mean that everyone feels like they're winning in the transaction. Team members feel like they're being paid fairly or even more than fairly, and the business feels like it's getting great productivity out of each person who's working in the business. And I'm very proud to say that our reviews on Glassdoor are really positive for the business. We've got lots of reviews from our team members who say that this is a great place to work for them. And I directly attribute that to the work that we do in retaining great talent inside the business. Now, we've got some more ideas for that inside our Genius Academy. It's free access for those who are already utilizing Google Workspace, and you can click on the link below to the transfer in offer to get access to that. And we go kind of like behind the scenes in a bit more detail on how we actually structure our team meetings and setups and everything to do with running a remote team. We call it the Remote Work Playbook, and it was actually a 8 webinar series that we ran over a number of months as the pandemic first hit to try and educate businesses on how to run their companies remotely. Go and check that out in the offer down below. So some of the most important factors that really affect an employee's experience in your business and their likelihood to stay around the business are, number 1, transparency. Can they trust you? Are they getting clear communications from their employer? Are you being honest as a business leader about the financial position of the business? Number 2, frictionless and collaborative work environment. Are you making sure that you're actually providing great tools to work with? Google Workspace is a great one for that. And do you actually have a workplace environment that is collaborative with team members? You want to avoid as much as possible, the kind of old school top-down reporting and just complete top-down management where not everyone has an opportunity to be a part of the business and have a say as a part of the business. That leads nicely into number 3, which is company culture. Do the team feel like they belong? Do they feel like the vision and the mission of the business is something that is aligned to their personal goals, is something that they wish to contribute to? Someone who feels like they're contributing is going to stay longer, and they're also going to feel more personally attached to their work inside the business, which is absolutely ideal. Number 4 is actually caring for your employees, listening, engagement, and recognition from both management and their peers as well, making sure that each person in the business feels like they are a winner for being a part of the business and feels recognized by those around them as well. Next up is career development, making sure that your team have both upskilling and training opportunities and an opportunity to develop their career, whether that's through promotions or career progression within your company, or maybe you're the kind of business where people will come for a period of time, you develop them as much as possible, and then you send them off with your blessing to another business. And both of those options are fine. Now, finally, and this is by no means the least, making sure that your business is a responsible business itself. Are you ensuring that the communities that you're participating with, you're actually giving back to? Are you ensuring that you are in good exchange with the environment, in good exchange with culture and society, in good exchange with your customers, basically in good exchange with anyone that your business is coming into contact with? And I like to extend that not just to your employees, but also to your employees' families as well. If you think about what your kind of average work week hours are, or how many hours of overtime your team members are doing, you've got to remember that you're also affecting not just your team members, but their families as well. So it's really important to keep tabs on the holistic picture of what kind of effect you're having as a business on those who are a part of your business. So where does that leave us with the Great Resignation? Well, the good news is the quitting will continue, but it's not expected to kind of spike as high as it was first expected when it first started. Flexible arrangements in work are now pretty much becoming the norm for both businesses. We've had multiple additional waves of coronavirus, and that has caused businesses to really not ever think that they're going to go back to the same kind of normal. We're now going to have offices where everyone has to go to the office 5 days a week be the absolute exception, not the rule. And what's more likely is a hybrid work environment is going to become the absolute norm. Now, the other factor that's happening here is remote jobs are becoming more competitive. Many more managers and many more business owners are saying that they're going to be open to different people from all over the world working in their businesses. And if you've been following our channel for a while, you know that we have a large team in the Philippines, and we've been taking advantage of working with an international team for a very long time. And more businesses are waking up to this opportunity of looking for talented labor in different markets to the market that they're in right now. So what we're seeing is businesses investing in technology and investing in these hybrid work environments. In 2 to 3 years, the amount of investment in these kind of technologies has, just been like absolutely amazing and is only going to continue. Now, we've already invested in these tools ourselves in our business, and we're experts in helping other businesses actually implement these tools in their businesses as well. And so if you're looking for shared task management systems, if you're looking for customer relationship management systems, if you want to get more productive with Google Docs and Drive and running your business without any servers and using Google Workspace to its full potential, well, we're the number one partner for Workspace in Australia and New Zealand in the small business landscape. And we've helped tens of thousands of employees across our thousands of customers right across the world get more out of their technology. And so if you're interested in that, we'd be absolutely honored to help you out. So here are 3 ways that we can help you if you're interested in some help. Number 1, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up if you like this content, and drop your comments down below in the comments. Let me know what you think about what I've shared. But if you're interested in a technology roadmap for you and your business, well, check out our other free videos on YouTube where we take you through the different stages of business and what is the most critical piece of technology for you to implement to help your business succeed and to grow through the different stages of biz. We are all about the intersection of business and technology and helping teams work productively, work remotely, and make sure that you've got the right tech in place for you, the business owner or leader, to have more freedom, more flexibility in the way that you work and to share that with your team as well. Now, next up, we also have access to the Google ecosystem, and we have a pretty amazing free offer for those who are working with Google Workspace already. So you can click on to our transfer in offer below, and that gets you access to our Google Classroom, which, as I said, has our amazing 8-week-long webinar series called Remote Work Playbook. If you're interested in running a more productive remote team, that is the absolute best place to start. We literally lifted the lid on everything to do with how we literally run our business day by day and helped everyone from a remote business who's been running for, I'd say, probably 6 or 8 years completely remotely, and over 60 employees across our group, all working from either home or hybrid locations. And so we share all of our tricks, all the daily disciplines, everything you need to do. You can't miss that if you want to run your business remotely. Now, if you're a business who's looking for a little bit more help and hand-holding, well, there's a link down below for a consultation. If you qualify, one of our team members will reach out to you to help discuss your business, and we can review anything: CRM systems, technology strategy. If you've got a bunch of different systems and subscription overwhelm and you want to get that tidied up, we'll be very happy to help. No matter where you are in the world, we are here to help with your technology challenges. Thanks very much for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.